I woke up with a throbbing headache, disoriented and surrounded by a disarray of metallic machinery. As my vision cleared, I realized that I was in a dimly lit laboratory, filled with the hum of powerful computers and the scent of burnt electronics. The last thing I remembered was the blinding flash of light as I stepped into the time machine. I stumbled to my feet, my mind racing to make sense of my surroundings. The time machine. It was supposed to transport me to the past, to a pivotal moment in history. But something had gone terribly wrong. I approached the main control panel, the screens flickering with erratic lines of code. A sense of unease washed over me as I realized that I had traveled further than intended. The date displayed on the screen read 2178, 100 years into the future. As I absorbed the shock, my eyes widened in horror. The world outside the laboratory was a desolate wasteland, ravaged by war and neglect. Skyscrapers lay in ruins, their skeletal remains reaching desperately towards the polluted sky. A thick layer of smog hung in the air, obscuring what was left of the sun. This was not the future I had expected. Frantically, I searched for answers within the ruins of the lab. Scattered papers and shattered glass were all that remained of the once thriving research facility. In a corner, I found a journal, its pages yellowed with age. The journal belonged to the last scientist who had inhabited this place. According to the journal, I had unwittingly transported myself to a time when the world had descended into chaos. Governments had collapsed, and humanity had unleashed destructive weapons that poisoned the very fabric of existence. The scientist had developed the time machine as a last-ditch effort to change the course of history, to prevent the catastrophic events that had led to this bleak future. But as I read further, a chilling realization set in. The time machine was a double-edged sword. While it could transport individuals through time, it couldn't change the outcome of events. The timeline was immutable, and any interference only created alternative realities, leaving the original timeline untouched. I was trapped in this devastated future, an unwitting traveler with no way back. Regret and guilt washed over me as I considered the consequences of my actions. My desperate attempt to alter the past had only brought ruin upon myself. Days turned into weeks, and I roamed the desolate landscape, searching for signs of life. Occasionally, I encountered survivors, but they were mere echoes of the vibrant civilization that once existed. Their eyes carried the weight of despair and their bodies bore the scars of a world torn apart. As I wandered through the ruins, a profound sense of solitude engulfed me. I was a stranger in a world that had moved on without me. The passing years only served to reinforce my isolation, as memories of my former life slipped away like grains of sand through my fingers. I became a witness to the slow decay of humanity. The once thriving cities crumbled further, and the survivors dwindled in number. Nature began to reclaim the land, its tendrils creeping over the broken remnants of civilization. It was a testament to the impermanence of human achievements. In the end, I realized that my journey through time had taught me a harsh lesson. We are not masters of our destiny, we are mere spectators in the grand theater of existence. Time travel, once seen as a source of hope, had become a cruel reminder of our insignificance. As the years passed, I resigned myself to my fate. I lived out my days in solitude, haunted by the echoes of a world I had once known. The time machine stood as a silent sentinel, a relic of a failed experiment.